so I'm going to share my screen again, the whole thing. And so I'm on my channel, and the difference between being on my channel and being on home is, notice how this shows me my uploads. In this case, I do have a few. You may go to your channel, and the way that I did that was I clicked on my face here and I go to my channel. And remember, I talked about being at home is different because that's where YouTube kind of gives me whatever it thinks that I want to watch. Whereas my channel these are my videos, and in your case, you may not have any at all, and that's fine. But if you go to playlists, maybe you have done like me and you've saved all kinds of things into playlists. And so that's kind of the first thing that I want to talk about. I'm going to go to, let me get this out of the way. Sorry, I have to drag my Zoom things. So in preparation, I wanted to have an example for you all. So I went ahead and grabbed the Kinder IPG that the science specialist has prepared for distance learning right now. And she had a suggestion of a YouTube video. So I have it right here. Do y'all see my cursor? So I'm going to go ahead, I went ahead and opened it. In fact, is this it? I think this is it. Okay, so this video is something, I want to say when I play it, I shared my screen in such a way that you won't, I don't know if y'all hear that. Anyway, it's just a cute little video about seeds. And so I like this, and I want to save this. I don't want to have to go to that IPG every single time. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and down here where you could share and do all these other things like the video, I'm going to click this plus sign and prepare yourselves. I'm kind of a hoarder of playlists. So I have created a lot of different playlists, which are basically like folders, right? So I'm going to click, and you see that I have a lot. All of you probably have watch later. So if you have navigated in Chrome to YouTube and you don't have to use this video, you can just search a word, right? Up here in the search, find yourself a video, and then practice this, which is saving to a playlist. So I'd already created all of these, but let's pretend that I hadn't. I'm gonna come all the way down, scroll myself down a little bit. Notice how it says you can create a new one, all right? You look, I'm pointing. And you can make that playlist public, unlisted, or private, something Michael's going to talk to you about in a second. I'm just going to leave mine public. I'm actually not going to do it, but let's pretend I was. This would be my plant unit, video playlist. And then as soon as let's put it on something here. I'm going to say dance party. It's not on dance party, but anyway. So there it is. So now, let's say I am looking at this video next year and I forgot that I had saved it. When I go to add it to a playlist, I'll say, oh, look, it's already on my dance party playlist, right? So that's how playlists work. You will notice, those of you who are following along, if you try to do that and it says, wait a minute, you have to enable your channel before you can start curating and saving and doing things like that. All you have to do is go ahead and say, yes, I do want to use my channel with my @NEISD account, all right? So that's how that works. Michael, I'm going to skip to you for settings. Let me stop share.
Okay. So you want to go ahead and share now?
Yes, please.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and go through uploading and then settings. All right, so let's make sure we can all see my screen. We look good, Sarah? Can you see my YouTube screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so here we are getting ready to upload, and okay, there we are. All right. So what I want to do is every time I start, and this is just sort of old habit for me, but it's something that I just repeat, is I always start back at youtube.com. Sometimes even if I want to get back to the home page of YouTube, I could probably click my way through there, but I really just kind of like typing it in there and then pressing enter. And of course, when I do that, I'm going to get all kinds of different looking things here that are either being recommended to me, sometimes based on what I have looked at, sometimes based on what I haven't. It's pretty random. One of the things you guys can look at when you're first navigating your own Northeast YouTube channel, I'm going to minimize my little thumbnail there so I don't see myself right here. On the upper right corner, where you see your sign in. This is something that I want to make sure everybody looks for. Whenever you're signed into youtube.com, just make sure that this says your name at neisd.net. If anybody here has a personal Google account or personal Gmail, and you happen to be logging into it on the same browser that you're using your work one, you might end up having multiple accounts on here, and you might need to toggle back and forth. And I will tell you right now, save yourself the headache. Don't ever get further than checking for your at neisd.net login before going any further, because once you start moving into your personal account, you get all kinds of problems that usually result in starting over. There's really no, can I move stuff over, this or that? It's just sort of a done deal. But I get a lot of our teachers who accidentally think that they're in their Northeast, and then they're actually in an at Gmail that's personal, and then they start working through, and things just do not work once we're back on the Northeast network. So we want to make sure that this is sort of our home base of making sure that we're signed in here. If you ever see some things out here on your recommended list that are not quite being curated for you to your liking, you can always click on the three dots here and say not interested or don't recommend channel, and you can start pulling out some of this stuff that's coming in that you're not happy with showing up here. Again, that's just for your own personal use. So let's talk about uploading. If you've already done a screencast or you've used your smartphone and you've uploaded the video to your computer and you're ready to put it in your channel, that way you can make that link available, this is always going to be an easier recommendation than trying to upload full video for your students. It's just the way video works. It takes up an enormous amount of space, and it is really heavy on a computer's resources. And so when we're asking a teacher to upload video to a platform to then play for other users, we get a lot of errors. A lot of things can go wrong. Uploading it to YouTube puts it in the cloud permanently, and now you've got a sharing link you can make available to your users. So in this case, whenever I'm on youtube.com and I'm signed in, I'm going to look for the little create button. It's a little camera with a plus button, and I'm going to click upload video. And we'll give that a second to spin up. And so right here, you're going to click on select files. And in your computer, you've got to know what video you're working with. And you obviously need to make sure you've named it something that makes sense, or you won't be able to find it. So I'm going to upload this top10.mp4. And that was one of those video formats I was telling you about. .mp4 or .mov. No doubt about it. Those are going to work in YouTube just fine. So as soon as I click open, it's going to start the upload process for me. Now, the longer the video, the longer this whole thing is going to take. The shorter the video, it's going to go quick. If you look right here at my status bar, it already uploaded it. Now it's starting to process it. Uploading gets the video into YouTube. Processing gets the video ready to be shown in a good resolution, so that if you filmed it on your computer, so to speak, screencast it or on your smartphone, and it was in a pretty good resolution, in that case, you're going to want it to look like that for your users. But some high definition video takes a couple of minutes. It can even take up to an hour, depending on how long it is. So if you're uploading, a tutorial or an instructional video that you've created for your students, and we're talking anywhere from 1 minute to 10 minutes, this will be a fairly fast process. If you're doing something really long, like the way we record these webinars, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, you can expect a really long wait time for all of this to get done, 30 minutes, even up to an hour sometimes. So now that I'm ready to upload, I'm going to give it a title. So this is a video that I made called Why Working From Home is Great. And if you can kind of see the little preview, those are 2 of my 3 children right there during an Easter egg hunt. And so this little 10-second video that I made just as a little sample will be what I'm using here today. And so already, I haven't even gotten through the rest of my process, but I've already got a sharing link right here ready to go. So I'm not going to use this yet, but when I do, this address to this specific video is not going to change. It's going to be this video forever unless I delete it. If I make a new video of this version and I want to upload it, I've got to delete this one and then upload the new one, or I'm going to have redundant videos doing the same thing. Description, you can leave this blank or you can type something in. So for a lot of our Northeast content, we'll sometimes put, copyright NEISD 2020, and then give a little explanation. And so whatever this is, just keep it short and sweet. And it's really an explanation that is really more for organizational purposes. You're not meant here to type full paragraphs or anything like that, and put all that stuff in there. Now, thumbnails. The thumbnails is what you guys saw when I was first looking at my YouTube home screen, and there was a thumbnail representing that entire video. And so YouTube is going to automatically pull randomly 3 images that you might use. There's my third child, the new one. And so if I want my son to be the thumbnail, or if I want the girls to be the thumbnail, or this one with them together, I can choose that. Or I can upload my own. And so this might be a picture that I've chosen or created that's going to represent all my YouTube videos. If you guys check out our ITS YouTube channel, we've tried to start making our videos where the thumbnails are branded to the specific content. And so we just created that with a screenshot, or we did a snippet of a PowerPoint, and then we upload that to represent our video. So in this case, I'll choose that thumbnail. And now, like Sarah was talking about with those playlists, this is where you can add it to a playlist, or you can just dump it into your Northeast channel exactly as it is. It's really up to you. If this video is going to be part of a series, then I might put it in a playlist. And you can pick one that's already in existence here. You can scroll through. Obviously, I've got a ton of playlists, do a lot of trainings, and I also have a lot of playlists I use. And so if I select it, I can actually add this video to multiple playlists if I want to. I can also take it off of there, or I can make a brand new one. And this will be a playlist that I'm going to start using in the future. And then my visibility, public, private, or unlisted. We're going to talk about that again, but like Sarah, I'm going to leave this one as public just for right now. I'm going to hit create. And so there's my distance learning playlist that I just made. I'll click done. And I'm going to scroll down here. And another question asked me is this video made for kids? I recommend everybody, it's just good practice to click on the content here and read the descriptions on there. But in general, especially if our audience today happens to be primarily elementary, and the things that you're making are completely intended for your students as the audience, you can go ahead and click on yes, it's made for kids. You're not trying to monetize this. You're not intending for it to be content that is geared towards adults or adult education or anything like that. So you can click that safely because you're going to be creating content that is made for them. So so that's something that you can think about. But if you want to put no, it's not made for kids because you're thinking, well, theoretically, teachers could look at it too, yada yada. It really is up to you. But if it is yes, give this a little read and just make sure that you feel comfortable about it. You can always ask your ITS and we can go over that specific video content together. In this particular case, I'm going to just hit no because it is not meant for kids. This could be sent to my family or whatever my audience is. I'm going to click on next. We skip this part, video elements, so just skip number 2. Don't even worry about this. We all skip it. You can too. If you want to learn more about it, you're welcome to click learn more and be an eager beaver. But for us, we're going to just keep our lives simple and move on. And then visibility. Here's save or publish. And now I want to talk about this. Public, unlisted, or private. So if you kind of know a little bit about this, then you're already working with some good prior knowledge. But just in case, I want to make sure everybody understands why this is so important, especially as educators in Northeast. So if I click public right there, this video is now available on the entire World Wide Web, every domain, every place that a video can be searched for, not just off of YouTube, but from a search engine that may pull videos from YouTube. That's what public means. It is wide open to the world. There's no restrictions or privacy settings on it at all. So there's a really good reason for making a public video. You want it to be easily accessed. You don't want anyone to have to do anything like logging in, or it doesn't have pictures or video of other students that you needed permissions for. It's just a purely instructional video, and you're basically opening it up to other users to grab it, add it to their playlist and use it. You know, the more the merrier. Go ahead and make it public. If it's under any other type of setting that you're not quite sure about and you really don't want it available to that level, then we can work with unlisted. And this is where I like to start a video. If I'm going to make it public, then I really have a really intentional reason for it. District level videos that we make on our team that are going to be accessible for everybody, we make them public so that they can be searched for and they can click on the links. Unlisted takes away the ability to search for that video. And so really what this does is it gives me the power to click on this copy link and grab this web address, and I can now post it. I can post it in Seesaw as an activity. I can post it in Google Classroom. I can send it in an email. And then whoever clicks on that link has access to the video. But what they can't do is search for it. So if this is a video with my students in it, for example, and I want to share some great successes that my students are having in class, um, or I curated a video of a bunch of clips of them and I want to put it on whatever platform to share out with parents and other teachers, etc. I might do this unlisted so that, of course, I've got all my permissions ready to go. That's great, but I don't need anybody searching for it other than my intended audience. So yes, people can grab that link and they can share it and it can then, domino from there. But that's different than me making available to the entire world. So unlisted is sort of where I like to start with my privacy settings on a video in our school settings, and then move it up to public as necessary. And then right here, set it instant premiere. That's only if you want this to be the highlighted video on your channel so that everyone can see this video first before anything else. I don't usually mess with this on my personal Northeast channel, sorry, my work Northeast channel. But on our ITS channel, sometimes we'll highlight a particular video as our premiere one. And then private. This is really something that I kind of reserve for very specific uses. If I know that I'm creating a video that's meant to be seen by Sarah and my boss and my director, and it's just going to be the four of us right now, we don't want it shared out, we don't want anyone passing the link, then I'm going to make it private, and I have to share this video with those individual users by their email address, just like you would with a Google Doc. And so this is very, very specific. It's also great for family use on your personal YouTube accounts. If you have tons and tons of video on your phones and it's just sitting there not going anywhere, like me, then use a personal YouTube account and start uploading some of those family videos and make them private and share them with the 5, 10, 12 family members that you've got to see some of those things. That's a great use for private. But in our school setting, if I make a video private and then I post this in Seesaw, no one's going to be able to access it. You have to individually add users, and then there's a limit. It's like 50 or 100, whatever it is. It's just not really going to work for what I'm trying to do in the educational setting. So public or unlisted, hopefully that's a good coverage for that for you guys. But if you have any questions of which way you should go on visibility, feel free to ask us or your ITS anytime. Lastly, here's schedule. We don't schedule videos. This is really more for YouTubers that are doing specific things like live streams. If they have an audience that's constantly coming back to their channel, we make a video and we use the link as we need it. So I don't mess with scheduling either, but you could. Click save. And so my video is published. I've got a whole bunch of options here that I'm largely going to ignore. I just want the web address so that I can copy this link, and it's copied to my clipboard. And now when I click close, the video is going to upload here into my YouTube Studio dashboard under videos. So that's going to be a question a lot of teachers ask is, how do I get back to the video, the list where all the stuff I've uploaded is? That'll be the last thing I show you, and then we'll turn it back to Sarah. So I'm going to go right back to youtube.com. I'm going to skip right where I was. So if you were looking at it, you don't get to see it now until we get back there. Anytime you become a YouTube creator, where you're not just now watching videos, you now are uploading, you are now a user of the YouTube Studio. So over here on the right, you're going to click on your little bubble and scroll down to YouTube Studio. And this area right here is what you want to see. There's your dashboard, and videos is where I want to be at. And so all the videos that I've created are going to show up here. There's my visibility. If I want to change it from unlisted to public and I've had a decision to change that, I can do it right here in my YouTube Studio and go in there and publish it with the new setting. If I need to delete a video, I can click it, come down here to my three dots, delete forever. I can also do that here for more actions, delete forever, and now that video is gone. So I've got tons of options here. And then if I need to share that video, you can open it up. And then right here, see how it says view on YouTube? So I want to click it, and I want to see what does this look like for everybody. So let's check out my 10-second video.
And that's a new baby. Michael, when was he born?
April 4th
Aw.
of 2020.
Well, I'm glad you showed us how to get to your videos in the YouTube studio because I had not put that on our agenda.
Oh, that's okay. It's always something good. And so so now that you guys have seen that cute video, now I can make lots of mistakes and you'll forget all about it. Hopefully. But no, I'm kidding. Really, the last thing is now that I've got this video here playing all the way through, I can always come to add to, and there, Sarah talked about those playlists. This is what the YouTube, 99% of the YouTube world, this is what everyone sees. They have a video here, they have some stuff on the right, they've got the channel user who created it, and then add to and share. This is what you guys want to focus on. If you want to create a playlist down here, there's create, or add it to an existing one, or multiple playlists, do that there. And then if you want to share this video, there's your link right there. And super fun bonus, if you want to share a video that's long, but you want to start it at a specific point, just scroll your playhead over to that specific point in time. And now when you come down here to the share, when you click on start at, your YouTube link is now going to have YouTube blah, 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 blah equals 5S for 5 seconds. So the new share link is representing to start at the 5-second mark of this particular video. It's a really cool little feature if you want the users to click it and see it starting from a certain point that's not the absolute beginning. So that's pretty much it. Unless there's any questions, Sarah, we'll turn it back to you.
So we did have a question about so I'm going to share my screen now. And so we did have a question in the chat about would the private option be good for sharing with parents? I'm not going to recommend that, Michael, when, I mean, I think I learned this from you. What is it, like up to 20 email addresses only?
It changes. And that's what I don't like about, Google owns YouTube. They're one and the same. And things are changing constantly, daily. And while during our current situation that we're all dealing with, a lot of things have been lifted, but then for how long? And so with those accounts changing here and there, I wouldn't want you guys to get stuck in a situation where you max out, or what if that person shares it with somebody else, or et cetera, et cetera. It's caused a lot of problems. Now, am I saying don't do it? No. If you have a specific way to do that, and you again, especially in elementary, if you've got somewhere between 20 to 30 kids, and then you've only got 20 to 30 sets of parents, assuming that you're only sharing with one parent and that's good enough, you don't have to share it with both parents in an email list or other guardians, then you probably will be okay. But yeah, the thing is, I've seen it be where it was 20 users max, then it's 50, then they change it to 100, and I get a little bogged down trying to keep up with them changing those settings. You're welcome to check it at a particular point in time. You can always Google, what the max users for private. We could do that right now even. But in general, we usually go with unlisted for sharing with parents. But you could do private. Just remember, you're going to be not sharing out one link for everyone to look at. You're going to be adding individual usernames per video. So if you're up for that, by all means, go for it. But like I said, it's not our best practices, but certainly something you could look into. Thank you guys for the kind words in the chat. That's very sweet of y'all.
Fatima, good question. But I definitely recommend unlisted. I mean, honestly, it's like private enough. Like no random person online is going to be able to, look it up. Now, obviously anything you put online, like we've talked about this a lot I don't know if y'all are attending the sort of webinar things that the different science, math, whatever specialists are hosting lately. They're, in this situation, learning a lot about, technology lately. And we've talked a lot about copyright and stuff. It's like, oh, well, what if I make a video and I've screencasted some of the things like you see here on my screen, from Launchpad. Oh, but that's copyright, but Northeast has permission. Like you can't really take, our math curriculum copy those videos and then put them on YouTube. Like that's not, you shouldn't really be doing that anyway. But even so, even if you were to share that privately, it's still on YouTube. So honestly, anything you put on there, you're going to be mindful of what it is. And when you share using that link, it's just easier. You don't have to, type in their email like Michael said. So I just recommend unlisted. Anyway, so I want to real quick go to, I wanted to show you a couple of things. So Michael mentioned screencasting and then video footage, right? So for those of you, if you're not familiar with that term, I know for a fact you're familiar with screencasting, just maybe not what it's called. I'm going to play a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to hear the sound, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to play a little bit of this video.
Elementary resource folder.
I'll mute it. So this is a colleague of ours, and she's walking you through, she's doing one of those types of videos where you just hear the voice of the person and you see what's going on their computer. You see their mouse move, all of that. And that is called a screencast, right? So that's super useful when you are wanting to show whatever's on your screen, right? And then you have another type of video, which is, this is one that we took of one of our colleagues, it's a cute video. We have a few of them sort of saying like what we do as ITSs, right? And this is a video of Chad, and it's just like him talking. I did this with my phone, but you could also do kind of like use your camera. Oh, I don't know why that was glitching. So I made a couple of examples of this that I wanted to show you all. So I'm gonna pretend, I'm gonna come over to my channel. I'll come here. Does anyone notice how the recommended videos on Michael's YouTube account are like cooler than mine? I was noticing that while he was showing us his screen. Anyway, so I'm going to come up here to create, and I'm going to upload a video, and I'm going to wait for, there we go, come on. And I want to show you that I created a couple of things as examples. So I'm going to select those files. So I'm going to look on my deal. In this case, I just went and I did a camera down here. Can y'all see as far down where it says type here to search? I just did camera. My camera came up on the computer and I recorded myself. Let's click that. No, actually, just kidding. I'm going to use another example. I'll go here to, I think I might have saved it in videos. I used a tool called Screencast-O-Matic. Some of our colleagues just did a webinar not too long, and I think I have a video that I may email you all of how to do this, but screencasting, there's several tools online, and I'll show you the one that I did. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just gonna show you through here so that you can see it. But bottom line, I just grab things that I have in my, I'll show you right here. So this is a sample screencast.
Hi everyone, this is a screencast. I am going to show you how to make. Hi everyone, this is a screencast. I am going to show you how to make some folders in your Seesaw account, in your Seesaw class. Sorry, so I'll click on the wrench and scroll down to manage folders.
So the point is you have different types of video footage, right? I even took one on my iPad here and I want to show you all that as well. So you can go through this situation like kind of what Michael showed us. You can see mine, like look at all my different, that's from the video that I took, right? You can choose your thumbnail and give it a name and do all of the things that Michael talked about. But I'm gonna pull up, I wonder, this was working for me a second ago. And I want to make sure that it is working again because I want to show y'all what I'm doing on my iPad here. Okay, good. So I should be able to show you. Let's see. Yay, who can see that? Luckily, this iPad is enormous.
That looks good.
Looks good?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, so what I did was I took a video using my iPad. Honestly, I would recommend your phone just because it's, smaller and easier to hold up. But I took a little video of myself. And then I'm going to go to the YouTube app. I have already logged in with my, just like Michael said, I make sure that I'm on my Northeast account and not a personal one, right? And then same thing, you have up in the corner, you have that little like video camera icon. Y'all just going to have to trust me. And then you can look through, if anybody's familiar with ChatterPix, right? I was playing with ChatterPix. These are videos that I took with my iPad So I can go ahead and start that upload process. Next. And it takes you through similar types of, questions and whatnot as you had before. You want it private, public, unlisted. All of that you can do from your phone or your, Android, iPhone, whatever device that you have. And so if you think like, oh my gosh, well, it's easier for me to take it with this, take my video using this device, then how do I get it onto my computer and then up into YouTube? You don't necessarily have to do that. Just get the YouTube app and log in with your Northeast credentials. Did I make that clear, Michael? Does that sound to you good?
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay, good. And I wanted to show you some fun features with YouTube. So one thing, and this is more than like your kids watching it, I think this is a tip for teachers, because we do have to vet our videos and make sure that there's not anything, inappropriate or whatever, or just kind of like for your personal, YouTube viewing pleasure. I find something that is a fun tip that people really like if they don't know about it is when you click on the gear in for this particular video, from a seed to a flower, I don't have captions, which is, not good. But I do have playback speed. So when I click this, I can watch this. I'm going to do 1.5 and I'm going to just mute it. But now I can watch this video a lot more quickly, right? And so sometimes when you're just trying to listen and, kind of get through a video and you don't necessarily need to hear it, at that normal speed, speeding up can be a really helpful way to kind of vet those videos before you show kids. So anyway, I like that. All right, so I'll go to another one. Let's see. All right, so notice how these that we created, like Michael and I are on the YouTube committee for our department, and when we uploaded these, you can go ahead and check, yes, you want to do captions, and honestly, it should do it for you automatically. But sometimes it'll be a little bit wonky, and I've made videos in Spanish where it's like, oh, that is not what I said. But you can go in there. That's a little bit more advanced, but y'all definitely reach out to your ITS or to me if you're one of my teachers, and I will help you do that. But when you click that little CC, you get the red underline underneath it, and it will caption, the video so that you can read it or your students can read it or whatever. Now, I don't think ours has this, but you will find that some videos, especially if it's like from a big company or something like that, when you click on the subtitles, you can auto translate it into another, language. But really, if it's a big company, I think we shared on our channel, Michael, a Zoom video. It was like a how-to from the Zoom company, and
Right.
they had lots of, languages that you could choose from.
Sure.
Okay, so anyway, subtitles, playback speed, and translation. Those are some things for you all to know about. Next thing. Okay, Michael, you actually already shared the part about the single videos. If you'd like to share a link by URL, even if you want to say like, look, this is a 30-minute video, I'm sending it to my, to my colleagues to say, hey, for the lesson plans next week, I really think that this is a good thing for us to show our kids, but I don't want the whole 30-minute video. I want you to just start at minute 20.
Right.
Like Michael showed you, you can share that way. But another way, okay, I'm going to admit this person, but sorry. Okay, another way that you can share videos, notice how, I don't know if y'all have noticed this, but here, I'm not playing a single video. I'm playing part of a playlist. Whereas if I move back over to that screencast that I was showing you all that Paola, one of our other colleagues, made, you see all of what YouTube thinks I should watch next. And coming from someone who taught kinder, when we first got smart boards and I would play videos, like if it's geared towards preschool kids, there's going to be diaper videos and all kinds of things that I guess they think that like a stay-at-home mom who's showing a video to a 4-year-old would want to see. And then the kids are like, ew, diapers. Anyway, this is very distracting over here, okay? I'm not real concerned about inappropriate videos coming up because of our filters at school and stuff, but more just, this is a nice, clean way to view your deal when you watch the entire playlist. And I want to show you how to get to that playlist. So if I come over to my channel. Now, notice how I'm not at home. I came to my channel. All right. Now, let's say you don't have any videos because you haven't shared anything publicly, right? And you might have the video part totally empty. But if you click on the playlist tab, you'll find that, remember I told y'all that I just make too many playlists? So here they are. Now, some of us, I'm like, don't look too closely, y'all, but you know how you can star things and keep these bookmarks up at the top? So again, brace yourselves. You can even make a folder so that you can just put more stuff on there, right? And so I have met teachers who have all kinds of, who have tons and tons of their favorite YouTube videos saved as bookmarks because they think, gosh, I really had to look and look and look until I found, you know, the right videos that I want to play during, you know, phonics for the beginning of the year, that kind of thing. And you don't want to lose them for next year. I would highly recommend creating a playlist because then when you log in, it's all there. It's all saved for you and you're not having to use, you know, I mean, you can bookmark them and everything, but this is just a nice visual way. And then when you play it, I'll do, let's see, this robotics one. Very interesting, but kind of won't stop. Stop. Okay. Anyway, so when you play it, you kind of get this nice visual. Oh, sorry, y'all. I just totally made my computer go crazy. Anyway, so you have all of your other video options from that same list. There we go. Sorry about that. On here. So anyway, I really love playlists. And if you want to share the entire playlist, that is something that you can do as well. You can say, I mean, I would love that if I was your, you know, counterpart on your team and you were going to share what you had already curated, all of those videos that you feel like are going to be perfect for this unit, then by all means share that playlist with me. So if I come to my playlists, I'm going to go ahead and just, let's say I'll view the full playlist. And then you have that that arrow that's for sharing right there. So this link is not going to take me to one video, but to the entire list. And what's lovely about this is that just like sharing a Google folder, when I share a playlist with you today, it may only have 2 videos in it. But with that same link a month from now, you can click on it and you'll have access to 10 videos if I have added to the playlist since then. I want to take you guys to our ITS YouTube channel, okay? So it is youtube.com/C like channel /instructional technology. Okay, so it's super simple to remember. It's up here, this URL, and here we have created playlists for recently. We have gotten into the business of making videos for students and families, which we didn't have before. But so you definitely, I mean, I know these are linked in other places too, but I still find people that don't know or that haven't seen it, and these can be very helpful. We've done, like for example, this one, how to log into Seesaw from a mobile device. This is very helpful because when you're on the phone trying to be tech support for your parents, you can just send them the video and say, watch this, and it will show them how to go into Launchpad, you know, or add the Seesaw app, or, you know, whatever it is. So anyway, they're very useful. I have a little bookmark. I suggest you do the same thing. Subscribe and bookmark us. But on this, I mentioned earlier that if you want to learn how to make a screencast where you're recording everything that's going on your screen, we have a webinar for that. At this point, honestly, y'all, we have a webinar for everything. And you can go ahead and just kind of fast forward to the parts that are interesting to you, whatever. In this case, it's further down this line, but I'm going to show you another feature of channels where you can come to this magnifying glass, not this one up here. This will search the entirety of YouTube world. I just want to search within the ITS channel. So I'm going to click this and say screencast. And sure enough, oh look, I have this webinar. It's 48 minutes and it talks about screencasting for remote learning. Listen, right now everything is for remote learning, but like Samantha said, you know, all of this can be used later on you know, for the year? Like, I'm sure you're already thinking of all the things, like when you are, you know, recording yourself reading a book and doing things like that. Maybe recording yourself modeling a station, you know, what the kids need to do. You know, you're gonna match these rhyming cards. Wouldn't that be cute to have a nice little sort of mini lesson recorded that your kids could watch to kind of jog their memories, which we all know occasionally need jogging. Michael, could you do me a favor? I remembered what I had wanted you to talk about.
Uh-huh.
So, approved for NEISD.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna
So,
bring up a video so you can talk
do
about that.
you want me to share?
You want to share your screen? Go ahead.
Sure. Okay. So one of the things that is an important thing for us to cover, and you've probably seen this many, many times because there's tons of videos that you've been working with in YouTube, et cetera, et cetera. And so you're going to see this blue bar show up. If you are signed into Northeast, even if you're at home, you are still pulling your YouTube through your Northeast account. So even though you're home, you're still going to get this blue bar here for approve and not approve. So if I come here and do a search for a particular video, and I decide that I want to use it and post it, do something like that with it, I'm going to click on the video so I can see it in full.
Hey everyone.
And so I'm going to see right down here if this video has been approved for NEISD.net. What's most important about this is that if it says approve, you all as teachers have the autonomous power to go in there and click on approve or remove a video. There's no tracking for who clicked on what, who did this or that. If you're vetting a video and then you're posting it, it's because the district is trusting you as a professional to watch the video from start to finish and have vetted this content as appropriate for our students or whatever your intended audience is from your Northeast account. So if my job is to get a video that I need for my students to use, and I'm going to come here to this video and I want to share it and get the web address, I can always get the share address up here just in case it doesn't show down here where it should be at. So you can always grab the share address up here, copy it, and then paste it into whatever platform you're sharing it out through. But if a video is not appropriate and you watched it and you said, why is this approved for NEISD.net? I'm going to just remove that because I just think this shouldn't be on there. Go right ahead. Somebody else somewhere else might reapprove it. And this could turn into a approve, remove little war going on in the background across the district somewhere. But again, what's most important about this is the video has to be approved for you to take that link and post it into a platform for the students to use it when they're in the Northeast network. That is what's key about this. If you take a link to a video and post it and it's not approved and they happen to be in the Northeast umbrella in our network, that video may not work. Now at home, it may still work. It may be fine. It may not too at home. I'm not really sure. We haven't seen a lot of issues with it, but just check this little vetting process out just so that you yourselves, when you're curating videos that you are not the creator of, are checking if it says approve or not. And when you do that, just remember that you're trusting yourself as a professional that you have vetted this video as something that's going to be appropriate and beneficial for our students. So you can also approve whole channels, but again, do that with caution because then you're basically approving an entire channel's worth of content versus those individual videos. Any questions on that so far?
No, I don't have any in the chat. And that's exactly right. And Michael, I'm just going to tell you, or you all, my friends, that I do not, that is not a miracle. And I wish that it was, okay? Because I have said approve and then said, okay, I'm going to share this link to this video in Seesaw. And then the kids can't watch it because it's blocked. I mean, honestly, you just have to try it. So like I showed y'all, like I showed you earlier with where I went to this nice IPG with a bunch of resources that in this case, Carol Trammell had, put together for everyone. Some of the YouTube videos were blocked for kids. I went on the iPad and I logged in as my nephew, who's a student at Coker, and I just tried it. I mean, that's what I would recommend. All you can do is approve it for NEISD and then try it. So the last little thing, so for those of you who, and I hope there'll be a lot of you that are experimenting with, and I'll put this up here just so y'all can see our little link tree with our different social media and stuff. Not just YouTube, just everything from our department, because I know it is 4 o'clock. But I do want to tell you that when you are uploading a video that is longer than 15 minutes, you will have to have gone into your settings and like verified your channel, which just means that you're going to put in your phone number and they're going to text you a code so that they make sure that you're a real person and not a bot, I guess. Michael, I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but I can show y'all really quick. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go to Creator Studio. There's a few different ways you can get there, but I think this is the way that I showed somebody the other day, so it'll probably. And
you're talking about that 15-minute restriction thing, Sarah? Right. So again, the biggest thing is Sarah's going to walk you through it, but if you're using your YouTube channel for the very first time and you're encountering this kind of stuff, definitely get with us or your ITS just so you can kind of walk through it together and get to the right place that you need to get to. This is kind of a one-time thing that you won't have to ever do again. So if you need any help with this, or you want to rewatch it through the recorded webinars or whatever, by all means, you're welcome to. But this is something that any ITS, whatever campus you guys are from, are welcome to help you with, in case you're not from me or Sarah's schools.
Right. And Michael, honestly, like, I don't know that you're going to be doing a lot of stuff that's longer than 15 minutes. The only reason why, I mean, nobody wants to watch. I mean, I don't know. My students would never listen to me for more than 15 minutes at a time. But sometimes you have reason to, like, I had a teacher, I think, record like a Zoom that she had done with students now during this time. And she had promised parents that she would upload it. So I'm going to click settings. And then I want to say it's in channel, right? So we're in the channel tab and then over to feature eligibility. And the way that I always do it is I just click on everything until I see something that looks familiar. And in this case, features that require phone verification. One of those, that first one is videos over 15 minutes. So I've already enabled it, but what you would do is click on it and it would say, put in your phone number, and then you would get a text message with a link, and then you're going to go ahead and be sort of verified, and it will say that you are enabled for those features. But that's pretty much it. Let me see, Michael, I wanted to show you all. If you'd like to, before you go, share with us your school and grade level, just because I'm interested in knowing, who's here, and maybe sharing with your ITS that you came to this, session. And from now on, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording, but then we will stay on, Michael and I, so that we can chat and answer questions. So let's do that.